Okay, we're looking at the 2009 Belmont Stakes, mile-and-a-half classic, grade one, third leg of the Triple Crown. No Triple Crown this year for a horse, but we may be looking at one for a jockey, whatever that's worth. Starting off, this card is one of the greatest cards you're going to find in the world. I mean, the pick four and the pick six are must plays as handicappers and gamblers. Take the lady out on Friday night, buy her a purse or something so you can tap in deep into your budget and have a little bit of cash to make a play, because you have good horses in each race and there's going to be some good payoffs. It's a unique track, so you know a little bit of the local knowledge and some of the wise guy knowledge that these New Yorkers have. You can find yourself some good winners. Watch out for Zitos and some of the other guys like that. But to start with, we'll take a look at Chocolate Candy. This is a horse that is a polytrack specialist from what his past performance record shows. A horse that has ran fifth in the Derby, which was very respectable, made a good run, and he was beaten 13 lengths, squeezed at the start, but in the slop, first time on dirt, he can improve. Who knows? He's been at Belmont for basically the whole month of May, and we'll see how it goes. For me, I'll be going in a different direction. He may be on the bottom part of the ticket. This is a horse that hit the board 70% of the time, and really after his first three races, or first two races, he's hit the board 90% of the time. So it brings us to Dunkirk. This is a horse I actually like a lot in this race. He's got a lot going for him. He was not rushed into the Preakness. In the Derby, if you watch his race, he didn't run a great race. However, he had a tough trip, and he was an inexperienced horse, sloppy track. We get him back on a fast track. He's going to make a big move around the turn, and I think that he's going to drive whoever's on the lead into the ground. And if the Bird, we'll see what the Bird does, but I like Dunkirk in this race a lot. Definitely a horse to play, and at 4-1, it could be a pretty good bargain with him on top. I love the switch to Velasquez and get rid of Prado. He's been up and down this year. He's been on about 20 different Kentucky Derby hopefuls and really hadn't done much. And I like the Bullet Workout May 18th by Dunkirk at Belmont, 1 out of 62. 47-1 breezing. That's a serious work. Okay, now we'll move on to Mr. Hot Stuff. Here we got that Mr. Edgar Prado on there. Okay, this is a Tisnow, Windstar Farm. This is a horse, if you watch the show, I liked him in the Santa Anita Derby, and he was flying up the rail and ran out real good. He has this very similar pattern to Chocolate Candy, horse that has run most of his races on the poly track with the exception of the Kentucky Derby. This is a horse that I have some sentimental connection to. I like him. I've been rooting for him. I played him in the Santa Anita Derby and made a score with those three horses, but I'll probably put him on the bottom of the ticket somewhere, and maybe a possible long shot at a long price. This is a full brother to Colonel John, who came from California to New York to capture the Travers Stakes in 2008. Brings me to Summer Bird. Kind of question. I'm not sure what to make of this horse. Beaten by 13 lengths in the Derby, ran 6th, but actually ran a decent race. He was excellent in the Arkansas Derby, where he was flying. And he passed up that closer, and it was a horse that I really liked. So Win Willie, he passed up Win Willie in the stretch, or Win Willie and him kind of moved together, and he couldn't get there. So only thing is, coming way off the pace may compromise his chances. We'll see. He does have a great late kick, and his daddy won the Belmont. Could be an upset kind of specialist. It'd be ironic to see DeSormo spoil the Belmont for the Bird, after what happened last year, which was, in my opinion, a pathetic ride from DeSormo. Probably the worst ride I've ever seen him on the big stage. Brings us to Love Gov. This is a horse I thought may have a long shot chance of hitting the board in the Preakness, and he got hammered. But he seemed like he had kind of a just nonchalant trip. I don't know what the story with him at that track was, but it's a pretty difficult horse to bet. If you want to throw the Lucas angle in there, throw him underneath your ticket or somewhere around your ticket, then that'll pay off for you at one time or another. At 20 to 1, worth a shot in your exotics. I'll go a different direction. It'll come to Charitable Man, who in the Peter Pan, he went 147 flat at Belmont for a mile and 1/8. That's a big race. Now at the Belmont, it's a 1-turn mile, so that's going to save you a little bit of time. Or a 1-turn mile and 1/8, I believe, or they start on the turn. But that was a heck of a performance against only 7 horses. So kind of tricky to say. He ran a great race there, front-running style. Front-running styles win this race. His daddy won this race. Charitable Man's going to be bet down. Alan Garcia won the race last year in front-running style. And if you throw out his effort on the poly track, the horse may be a dirt specialist, and he could be a tremendous horse. Mr. and Mrs. Warren have been in this position before and have been ultra successful, so we'll see how that goes. Mind the Bird's a horse I really like. He's an easy horse to like. He's always trying. He's got that kick butt late run, exciting. This race, he's 2 to 1 in the morning line. I think he's going to go off lower than that, 7 to 5 type range. And really, if you're going to be betting this horse at 7 to 5, the pace scenario doesn't really set up for him. The deep closers don't win the Belmont. If you go back over history and watch the Belmont Stakes from Secretariat on, you'll see, Secretariat was in a speed duel for 3/4 and won 109 3/4. So, races in the Belmont seem to favor the front-running style, the ground-saving trip, the inside trip, because you don't have to worry so much about bumping and grinding and all that, because the track is so big and the race is so long. That's all going to work itself out. In addition to that, you're looking at a smaller field, obviously, than you're going to have in the Derby. That brings us to Flying Private. There's a horse that run 4th at 25 to 1 in the Preakness. In my opinion, he can upset the apple cart. Le Perreault's a great jockey who I love. It would be kind of a shocker, but this is a $700,000 purchase, a FUPEG, and he's coming off a good race. If he's improving, if he's getting better at the right times, you never know. He's worth a play on the exotics. Miner's Escape and Brave Victory. These are 2 horses that are interesting to me because they're going to be big, long shots. Now, Miner's Escape's going to be part of that speed duel. And now he's owned by the owner of last year's winner and last year's trainer. These guys know how to win the big one. He's a front-running horse, has won his last 2 races in dominating fashion, but the last 2 races back was a maiden. What are you going to do? The Tessio was a nice victory, but who did he beat? Tough to say. Tough horse to bet, but he's going to be a factor in the pace scenario. And if he gets out there uncontested, he can hit the board and possibly steal the whole thing. I'm going to go a different direction, but that's how it goes. Brave Victory is a Lionheart who has been very inconsistent, has 2 victories, but has hit the board 5 out of the 9 races he's been in. He was 3rd in the Peter Pan, and as he was rallying in the Peter Pan, his jockey lost a whip. So he had no whip from the 3/16 pole to the line, and it's kind of hard to tell if that would have made a difference. But in a 7-horse field at Belmont, this horse was 17 lengths off the lead and was only beaten 5 lengths without a whip. Brave Victory is another LaPena horse that has a long shot chance, so he should be on the bottom of the ticket. So the way I'm looking at it from a gambling standpoint, I think Dunkirk's going to be under bet, and I think Mind the Bird's going to be over bet. So it's a little bit questionable here on what to do, but for me, I think I'm going to be keying on Dunkirk for the victory, but also having the Bird and Dunkirk, who stand heads apart from the rest of this field, on top of the all for my trifecta bets. And on my pick 4s and pick 6s, I'll be keying those 2 horses. That's it for pick 6 fix. We'll get back to the pick